Good evening, everyone. My name is Andy Gadral, and on behalf of the class of 2019, I would like to thank and welcome all students, parents, family, friends, faculty, staff, and board of trustees for joining us today. To quote my mom, greetings are either hit or miss. You better not miss, so let's see how I do. And it's only right to make this greeting reflect how astounding and accomplished this class of 2019 really is. Fellow classmates, we made it. We started from the bottom as freshmen, and now it looks like the whole team is here. This team consists of not only us students, but everyone here attending today. You all have been the backbone to our high school success. This TGS team has helped develop a top-notch school and has allowed us to be the people we are today. This TGS team has helped develop a school that is founded by the principles of creativity and collaboration. Now, although we are small, we are continuing the dreams of our founders. This wide array of brilliant students has made an everlasting impact on the TGS community, the local Tucson community, and the world. I encourage you all, class of 2019, to continue making this positive impact on your community. You all truly make a difference. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Catherine Kellner. Richard Brown and I have a son that's graduating tonight, Dennett Brown. We're very proud of you.
Yeah!
For many of us, there is a familiar loop that we have driven over and over, day after day, week after week, year after year. We turned off Craycroft and drove up toward the Gregory School, tucked in to the drop-off lanes, and said, "Goodbye, have a great day, I love you. Oh, don't forget your backpack, lunch, homework, and in my case, shoes." And now, many of our young women and men get themselves to and from school on that loop. But there is also a large group of dedicated individuals that drive that same loop day after day, week after week, and year after year, and again, year after year. They drive in long before we do, park, head to their classrooms, and hours later, finish driving the loop out to Craycroft after having spent the day and sometimes their evening too with our students. It takes an extraordinary person to be a teacher. Day in and day out, you spend your life shaping the minds and lives of our children. Tonight, we are gathered here with you together to witness our young adults graduate from the Gregory School. You all must be relieved. So must you, and so are all of us. What does this really mean? It means that our students accomplished all that all of you asked them to accomplish. They gave back to you in various ways the knowledge you, in various ways, gave to them. It is an incredible circle, or loop, this demonstration of knowledge through the teacher-student relationship. Sometimes straightforward, sometimes mysterious, sometimes downright labor-intensive, sometimes delightful and joyous, sometimes truly upside down. You learning from them. Because of what you have done in service of our children, teaching and learning, we can celebrate this milestone tonight in their lives. It is why you drive the Gregory School loop. Teaching and learning. But this is only the beginning of learning, discovering, and experiencing for our graduates. There is a world out there that you have prepared them for. And because all of you are so wise, you would also agree that that same world of learning, discovering, and experiencing is still out there for you too. It is evident and reflected in our students that you, our faculty, are all lifelong learners. So, in your honor and in support of the opportunities for continuing your education, tonight the class of 2019 continues the tradition of making a gift to the Edward E. Ford Faculty Enrichment Endowment Fund. On behalf of all of us, the class of 2019, with a full heart and gratitude, are honored to present a monetary gift to the extraordinary faculty of the Gregory School toward the enrichment of your education. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm going to now introduce you to Elaine Sosnowski, a marvelous alumni parent who's going to have some words for you.
One of my stress nightmares is having to follow Catherine Kellner speaking, and now it's come true. Catherine, I hope listening to the podcast of yours is going to help me out here. I stood on this stage 8 years ago, presenting as Catherine just did, the Senior Parent Gift. My remarks that day recognized the longevity of many families' relationship with the school, including the statement, and I quote, "Adam is the first of 3 Gonzaleses. Their youngest, Rachel, looks forward to being a member of the class of 2019. She was in 4th grade at the time, and here we are. Those 8 years have passed very quickly. Much has changed since 2011. The name of the school, members of the administration, and much of the faculty. What has not changed is the special bond formed in this community between parents, students, faculty, and administration. I'm here today to recognize a set of parents who have had a child on this campus since 2004. Over the last 15 years, Jay and Gabrielle Gonzalez have answered every call to volunteer and advance the mission of this school. Jay has coached multiple teams, including middle school softball and high school softball and baseball. He is most famously known on campus as the voice of the Hawks. With children who were all multi-sport athletes, I estimate he has attended well over 1,000 Gregory School sporting events and probably served as the announcer at half of those. Jay, your playlist will be sorely missed. Gabrielle has tirelessly volunteered her many skills to this school. She has offered her communication expertise to assist in school marketing efforts and has been an important member of the Family Association for the last 15 years. Jay and Gab were both key players in organizing the first ever homecoming, which, by the way, fun fact, was not held at home, and have kept the tradition going strong for 12 years. They have been the drivers and organizers of every grad night event since the tradition started in 2010, including serving as chaperones at, I think, every one of them for the past 10 years. Parents, I'm not sure of the last time you pulled an all-nighter, but I speak from experience. It is far more difficult and far less fun in your 50s than it was in your college days. Jay and Gab have gladly accepted the challenge, making sure the graduating seniors have a night to remember and make it home safely. I understand they have arranged for a super secret special guest to be present at their last grad night. I have no idea who it is, but I'm dying to find out. I suspect if asked, they might consider coming back as chaperones, but give them a few years off first, please. I venture to guess that every member of the faculty and administration over the last 15 years knew they could ask the Gonzaleses for help and that they would be there doing whatever they could to enrich this environment. Their regular presence on campus will be sorely missed but not forgotten. With some assistance from Christina Valencia, Valerie Deitch, and Elizabeth Goodwin, and some secret work by Rachel, McKenna, and Anna, a bench recognizing Jay and Gab's contribution has been created in their honor and will reside in the courtyard as a lasting remembrance of their indelible mark they have left on this campus. Rachel, McKenna, and Anna, will you please go escort Jay and Gab up front so they can see what you've created on their behalf and for them to accept some very well-deserved applause.
Yeah! Yeah! Good evening, everyone. I'm Chloe Gorman. With turmoil and dissonance seeming to lurk in almost every corner of our world, I think we could all use a little bit more of the Gregory School around us. This school is not average. It gave me the permission to be myself around those who support my growth. When I moved here in 7th grade, in the peak of my notoriously wretched preteen years, I was just searching for a place to belong, something that would help me define who I am. I found that the upperclassmen here were so easy to look up to, balancing jobs, internships, volunteer work, and clubs. At first, I thought achievements like these were what defined you. But I later found that it's not what these classmates did, it's how they did it. With empathy and with purpose. They maintained the foundation of kindness on which our school rests. And every time I walked through the sun-drenched pathways of this school, under sweeping trees and even past groups of farmyard goats and chickens, I experienced this community, a community where everyone is included and welcomed. After sharing in this community myself, I came to learn that the true value of self-growth lies in sharing your triumphs and your hiccups with others. This school has supported and held me through those hiccups. From every missed serve on the volleyball court to every piece of self-doubt I felt in starting a club of my own called Right to Unite. Meets every Thursday tutorial in Miss Webble's room. Hope to see you all there. With enough time, I've been able to find myself and actualize who I want to become when I leave. This allowed me to stop looking up at the compassionate leaders of this school and start looking around. Now in this field, saturated by love and family, I see my class, the community who supports and accepts. I know that when we leave this school, the world will, like I'd hoped, learn a thing or two from the spirit of TGS. When tensions seem to pull apart and dismantle other aspects of our lives, the kindness and sense of understanding that is extended to each and every student who attends this school helps keep the pieces together. Now I want to introduce an individual who exemplifies what it means to support, love, and challenge others to be the best they can be. I'd like to introduce Connor Heroes. A little bit more, sorry. It doesn't matter if Connor sees you walking into class from 2 feet away or across the entire school. He's holding the door open for you. And you better believe he's going to ask you how your day is, genuinely care about your answer, and maybe even throw in a TGS baby if you're lucky. I've always known that when he's around, I'm safe to be myself. I will miss you, Connor, and the little yellow sunshine that seems to follow you around.
Thank you, Chloe. That was really nice. For the last 7 years, this school's been my second home. The people here are amazing, caring, kind, and the community is small enough that teachers and students can form truly meaningful relationships. One of my favorite things about our teachers here is that they treat us like people. They never talk down to us, they tell it like it is, and they have an authentic personality which they exude in the classroom. For example, in sports history class last year, our teacher made it very clear that how most sports leagues are run comes down to money. Yes, that's very cynical, but it's true. And for us as students to truly learn, we need the truth. On the personality piece, earlier this year in English class, we were reading a poem about the nostalgia for youth among aging. When we were done, our teacher said that she often identified with the sentiments in this poem. She then told us to be very quiet. She bent down, and we all heard a creak from her knees. It was a very funny moment in class, and yet it still helped us understand all the more exactly what she was talking about. Also, we know that our teachers work as hard as we do. If I've got to turn in a paper, I can go into any teacher and they'll help me during a tutorial or even a lunch, and it's just amazing. For every paper I turn in, they spend as much time possible reading and contemplating everything I've written. Our school's motto is a tradition of inspiring excellence, and all of our school's faculty and staff have truly motivated me to be as excellent as possible ever since I got here. This inspiration has motivated me to be a great student athlete. Basketball has been a huge part of my experience here. At any other school, I never would have had the opportunity to compete at the level I've been able to compete at. Some of my greatest moments have come from committing to basketball, which I have to give a shout out to my mom and my brother because they let us stay at home a lot in order to do that, and winning back-to-back state championships. That was pretty awesome. I want people to understand that we've had this amazing experience in the community despite the many changes which have occurred in our administration, faculty, staff, and certain things that we've done like interim weeks. This school and community is only getting better. I feel this school's given me so much, and I feel extremely lucky that I've had the opportunity to give back to it and make it a better place throughout my time here. I'm a Hawk for life, TGS. Now I'd like to introduce our next Hawk speaker, probably the most philosophical person in this class, Alan L.
Thank you, Connor. I would also like to join you in sharing the gratitude you've expressed for our teachers. And I'd also like to take a moment to thank the administration, specifically for emailing me that if I was late one more time, I'd lose my free blocks. Thank you. Families, friends, we learned the subtle nuances of learning information in our years at the Gregory School. But the most obvious thing I learned about all of you is how impactful you are. I come to you, grounded in education obtained through the Gregory School, with only one imperative message. We cannot take our intellectual diversity for granted. The values perpetuated by our school's ingrained diversification has resulted in our choice and efforts to be ourselves. This does not just happen naturally. It takes courage. It takes courage to step up and share a unique idea when you think you're the only one that has it. But it also takes courage to be able to listen and confabulate. We seek to understand before we seek to be understood. And this ingrained diversification, one of building independent thinking mavericks in all of us, is a culture, a tradition, and a legacy. One that we must cascade not only for the future graduating classes at the Gregory School, but also for the rest of the world to wherever we may go. Achievements at this school are based on students taking what they are given and making more of it. And we owe gratitude to our parents, teachers, and families for that. We are a school of learning, not just for learning, but for inspiring an application of that learning. And what we have applied acts as the evidence for why I know that our ability to be our own independent thinking mavericks will continue to lay down the untraveled paths of our lives. I'm pleased to introduce Stella Steed, an individual who has demonstrated independent thinking and leadership in our community. Thank you.
Hi. Thank you, Alan. It's safe to say that the members of the upper school know me as their fellow classmate, Stella. In the middle school, on the other hand, I'm pretty sure I'm mostly known by the title I'm most proud of, Lola's big sister. As a big sister, especially as Lola's, I've grown accustomed to worrying. I love my little sister, and as a result, I worry about her endlessly, especially about whether or not she's happy or enjoying school or doing well on the friendship front, or if she's growing into an emotionally developed young adult. You know, normal things a sister worries about. 3 months from now, I'll officially be living in Houston, Texas. Leaving my little sister is undoubtedly going to be one of the hardest things I have ever done. But there's one thing that I'm certain of. She'll be okay. I can say with full confidence that she will be okay because she'll be here at the Gregory School. I am not afraid for how she'll fare because I know that she'll be growing up in a community filled with kindness and respect. She will have support on all fronts. She will not be alone. And as a big sister, that's all I could ask for. Sorry. Now I'd like to introduce a good friend and fellow big sister, McKenna Roberts.
Yeah, Stella!
Like Stella, my younger sister also attends this school. And though I may worry about her, if she truly completes all her work, as she often tells me, the only reason I am able to leave her in 3 months is because I know she will be here, thriving on this campus and creating her own identity. This class will be remembered for those who told stories on stage, who placed in worldwide physics competitions, who designed and published a magazine of art and literature. Remembered as those who created award-winning apps, for working within interior design studios and alongside biomedical engineers. Our class has positively impacted communities in foreign countries and assisted journalists in NCAA basketball stadiums. We have ignited ourselves as individuals, establishing our independence by consistently showing the world who we are. I understand independence as this, by being the most consistent in our identities. Because the world today tempts young people to be one person on social media, but then completely different in person. But instead of falling into this trap, the class of 2019 was able to get here today with an immense amount of authenticity and who we have chosen to become. And because of this, we are ready to step into the world. Throughout our lives, we must be able to trust that our consistent identities allow us to understand integrity, to understand right from wrong. The world has resorted to bribing colleges in order to be admitted, to swiping right on an app in order to gain someone's attention, to staring into the black mirror of a phone at a restaurant instead of engaging in conversations. And this world is so scary, and it is so tempting to fall into these traps and feel a desire to stay in one place forever and be a kid forever. But this class of 46 members, of 46 confident, independent individuals, must be able to continue on with our lives here tonight. We must be encouraged to let go so we can positively change the places we may encounter in years to come. In knowing we have established our independence, and in knowing that we have to leave this place tonight, do not forget that we can and we will come home, because this school will always be here for us. Our teachers will continue to guide Gregory students into the real world. We can always step back onto campus, into the spaces that inspired us the most. The classic Tucson scent of creosote will hit our noses when we return, and the calming view of the mountains behind me will always be here. We will always come home because this school and the people here, our teachers, our peers, and our families, are the ones who we owe everything to. This place has guided us towards our independence and molded us to become who we are today. So do not be afraid to watch us go, and trust me now when I say, we are prepared for this. We are determined to inspire the world, and we are ready to let go. Thank you.
Yeah, McKenna. Yeah.
As the choir is coming up here, I wanted to introduce the piece that we're going to sing first. We will be singing it, or at least attempting to sing it well, in Chinese. The piece is a popular piece in China, and it was chosen by Yusi so that she can sing a solo in front of all of you and in front of her parents. This is the first time that her parents will see her perform while she's here at the Gregory School. So for those of us that don't speak Chinese, here's a brief translation. You ask me how deep my love is for you, how much I really love you. My affection is real, my love is real. Go think about it, and go have a look at the moon. The moon represents my heart.
'Cause
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. I'm Carrie Adams. I teach history and anthropology. It's a privilege to start this part of our program. It's only because my name starts with A that I get to start this part of the program. But as an alumni, I want to say briefly that thank you, class of 2019. I know I'm not alone. There's other faculty that are alumni, trustees, and parents. You've just, in a few short minutes, when you are also an alumni of TGS, our cool factor has been improved, and our street credibility. You are amazing, so thank you. Starting with Astrid Lee Gardner. I had the good fortune to have you as a student this year. Your alert, quiet, and calm nature underlies the anime gaming goddess that I know exists and which I celebrate. Your capstone project about women gaming led me to understand you are part of a small but hopefully growing group of women competitors who are often marginalized in the gaming world. Your work intrigues me, as does your experiences in anime, which I don't fully understand, which in your past included conferences and, I believe, costumes. I missed that part, but I'm sorry about that. What is not a mystery to me, and what is a passion I also share, is your love of horses and your interest in becoming a vet. What a gift to support our equine partners, Astrid, who bring such joy. I want you to know that your varied interests and talents have not gone unnoticed. You have been a source of inspiration and intrigue during your time here at TGS. I know you are going to excel at anything you choose to do, but I hope you are able to find time for what you love, whether that is on stage, online, or on the open trail. Elizabeth Laura Maltzman. I see so many similarities to you and my personal hero, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. You are brilliant, poised, exceedingly hardworking, and a great writer. Where you outshine even the notorious RBG is that you are a gifted artist and designer, an innate organizer, and you have a wicked sense of humor. You also are an amazing cook. I don't think she cooks, or that might be your mom. You always deliver excellence. So of course you received a superior on your senior internship, and you have received the Performing Arts Award in recognition of your wonderful acting and singing. Thank you for that performance. That was amazing. It has been such a privilege collaborating with you on nonprofit work helping refugees this year. Ella, I cannot adequately convey how much I admire and am inspired by you. You have a passion to help others and a global perspective, which I know will be put to good company next year in St. Andrews in Scotland. Your time here at TGS maybe feels a bit like you have been holding your breath as you conclude. Trust the path you are on, your many strengths and abilities, and the support of all the people who love you. When you find the right place, people, and the focus for your passions, we'll be all with you in spirit when you exhale and start making history. I am so proud to know you.
Yeah.
Stella Ray Steed, your name is so perfect for you. And incidentally, it is the name I would choose as my superhero name if I had been given half your powers. This year, with you in the gender and diversity class, it has often felt like working with a colleague, which is a sentiment shared by other faculty and where your incredible talent and passion for writing is honored with this year's English Award. You are a bright beacon who can inhabit the space between lofty starry dreams and earthly realities that are not always fair. But you work to find a solution, and you often find it, and you navigate the space by finding joy and bringing joy. And it is in these in-between spaces where I find you so extraordinary and inspiring, between your Mexican and American roots, between classes, genders, and even decades, as represented by your fashion sense, which is both modern and vintage and wholly spectacular. You inspire the rest of us who live comfortably in the margins to want to join you. I am honored to be able to speak about you today. I celebrate the person that you are and what more you will become. Although I know many of us would like to keep you close, the world needs your special light. So shine on our beautiful star.
Yeah.
Good evening. My name is Mary Babbitt, and this is Jinghan Chen. And before I read about Jinghan, whom we know as Heidi, I wanted to say that she has earned the distinction of Superior on her senior internship project.
Yeah.
Heidi is smart, sweet, and silly. Heidi is also very serious, and I'm fairly certain that even she will admit that she is sometimes stubborn. Right? Okay. Heidi can be singularly focused and seriously shy until you get to know her. I'm grateful that Heidi arrived on the scene at TGS to touch our lives and teach us all about having fun, getting the job done, and doing the right thing. Heidi, I wish you the very best wherever your new path leads you.
Yeah.
I am so nervous because this is so perfect. After 3 classes, 3 trips, and at least 30 meetings with Josh Dagoberto's heroes, I feel honored to speak of him, but I would be selfish if I did not add that every one of my colleagues here today could easily share an anecdote or an accolade of equal importance. That is why the staff, hands down, agreed that he should be the recipient of the 6 C's Award for creativity, compassion, critical thinking, collaboration, communication, and community. It is not surprising that Josh has also earned a Superior for his senior intern project in interior design. He lights up every room into which he enters. He has a wonderful eye, a high sense of style, and a psychological understanding of what makes people tick. As a student, he plans and executes every assignment with purpose and seriousness, and usually several weeks before it's due. As a traveler, he masters schedules, itineraries, and the interiors of every plane and airport to which he will visit or has visited. He embraces every activity, be it a dance or a trip, with a joie de vivre that should be bottled and sold to all Americans at a time when we are sorely in need of a good time. For all that, there is more. Josh is a kind, thoughtful, and loyal young man who has probably already booked his seat to Mars, because that's how far I believe this world will take him. One of my nerdier hobbies is to open up a fact dictionary to delight in familiar and unfamiliar words. In that Israel Kriz and I have an ongoing battle over a particular word that he hates, I thought it fitting to share with you that when I tried this for today's remembrance, I opened up to the letter E. Israel is eloquent. He speaks and writes beautifully, so much so that he can almost convince you that he's right, even when he's dead wrong. Israel is eccentric. He has an unconventional, uncommon, and extraordinary worldview, which makes him a wonderful addition to the classes and activities in which he takes part. Israel is enigmatic. One never knows what mystery lies behind some of the puzzling but fascinating ways he looks at problems in order to solve them. Israel is efficient. In all the years I have worked in the theater, I have never met a more efficient sound designer than Israel. My shows would not have been half as successful without him. And though he will never admit that in some cases farther should be used instead of further, this makes him one of my more endearing students in the class of 2019. I wish him the best of luck as he embraces the endlessly energetic world ahead of him. My only regret in knowing Jillian Zhang, or Grace as we have come to know her, is that I was unable to direct her in this year's production of Black Comedy. Because Grace is always focused and looking ahead, shortly after auditions, she realized that she would be in New Zealand for her placement tests for the 2020 school year. This is unfortunate because Grace is a gifted actress. I believe this stems from her acute understanding of the craft of literature and the scope of the human condition. From our study of Hamlet and on, her understanding of the text we read in senior year was astounding. Her writing was equally so. I know she will be hugely successful in whatever she chooses to do because she is mature beyond her years. She lives with purpose and grace. Zillian Grace Zhang, you have that was totally wrong. You have a beautiful soul and a most fitting name. We wish you the best of luck in your exciting new venture. Enjoy the rest of this perfect evening.
No surprise, he has a fan club. Hello, I'm Lisa Bodden, and I teach drama and stagecraft. Anyone who knows Brian Maloney Evans knows he is as fine a student as any in this class, and I love the kid. That is a direct quote from Brian's former advisor, Mr. Kevin Roll. But I also echo those sentiments. Since I have known Brian, he has demonstrated again and again his good-heartedness, intelligence, acting talents, and humor. He is the drama club president and a member of the National Honor Society, International Thespian Society, robotics team, and film club, and I'm sure there's a couple more in there. He has volunteered with Minds Alive Summer Camp, participated with Summer on Stage, the summer program at Arizona Theater Company, and recently performed in the Stories That Soar High program. As a 9th grader, he performed the role of Batman in the world premiere of the superhero Ultraferno. It seems only obvious that he has been selected as a co-recipient of the Performing Arts Award because of his consistent excellence and aesthetic sensitivity to the Gregory School Theater. He has also earned the designation of Superior on the Senior Internship Project. I will greatly miss Brian's creativity, leadership, dedication, engaging personality, and penguin drawings around campus. Break a leg at college. If you do not know Lillian Catherine Smith, you've missed out. Even though Lily Kate takes her schoolwork, advisory, and extracurriculars seriously, she always does it with kindness and maturity. She is a member of the National Honor, Spanish Honor, and International Thespian Societies. She has found success in mock trial competitions, on the volleyball team, and in numerous acting performances, both here and at the Arizona State Thespian Festival. Lily Kate even performed the role of Robin to Brian's Batman in the world premiere of the superhero Ultraferno as a 9th grader. This year, her leadership as a stage manager was unparalleled. Dedication and commitment are evident in her work ethic, and her sense of responsibility, purpose, and resiliency are impressive. She has deep Texas roots, loves 80s rock music, Broadway musicals, and Spider-Man. It is no wonder that she has not only earned the designation of superior on her senior internship project, but also is a co-recipient of the 6 C's Award, celebrating her commitment to creativity, communication, critical thinking, collaboration, community, and compassion. Break a leg, Lily Kate.
Hello, I'm Beth Kane, and I'm the librarian and the yearbook sponsor here at the Gregory School. And it is my great privilege and pleasure to introduce Taya Eliana Weiner to you this evening. What is a yearbook? It's a physical representation of ephemeral moments. In just over 100 pages, it attempts to capture the elusive feelings of a finite school year. Seniors, in future years, when you open your yearbook and the memories come wafting off the page, you will have Taya to thank. Her leadership as editor of the yearbook has been the gentle kind. She motivates with friendship, example, and a pleasant laugh. And yet, she has steered the yearbook ship with a steady hand. Taya, you really came into your own this year, and what a joy for me to witness you create something lovely with skill, style, and good humor. You will accomplish wonderful things in life, and you will do them with kindness. It's been my honor to know you.
Good evening. I am Jim Carlson. I teach Latin, and I'm the cynical sports history teacher who told Connor there was money in professional sports. I like the applause for that. In his 4 years here, Noah Kiran Sharma has been a baker, 2 guys named Hecky and Johnny, Polonius, King Herod, Colonel Mustard, and the very model of a modern major general. He's a member of the International Thespian Society, 2-time All-State choir member as a bass. You're a bass?
Yes.
Yes, you are. You have the 3? Where's Dr. Freslon? All right. As well as participating in regional chorus, Tucson Boys Chorus, and this year he was chosen to participate in the Monty Awards for his musical theater for his role as the baker in Into the Woods. I can say from personal experience, having taught Noah for all 4 years, I have rarely had a student as conscientious as he, despite a busy rehearsal schedule and performance schedule. He's never missed an assignment in 4 years. Is that right? All right. Noah earned the designation of superior on his senior internship project, and he is the winner of this year's music award. Connor, you coming? All right. You want me to go first? All right. This might get rowdy. All right. Connor, come on. All right. As a philologist, I've always been bothered by the phrase giving 110%. Percent, as we all know, comes from the Latin per centum, out of 100. The most you can take out of 100 is 100. Or so I thought until I met Connor John Heroes. Enjoy it. For Connor, 110% would be a slack day. If he ever had a slack day. On a normal day for Connor is about 125%. At basketball practice, in class, or coaching middle school football or basketball, it's about 150%. At the state tournament final in basketball, I'm pretty sure it was really close to 200%. If you assign Connor a 5-page paper, you better be prepared to edit it down from 10 or 15 or 20. If you give him a drill, expect him to run it correctly and at full speed. If you tell him to run, no one will run harder. For these and 1,000 other reasons, Connor is the recipient of the inaugural Russell W. Ingersoll Award. He's also received a designation of superior on his senior internship. Connor, TGS is a better place for having had you here as a student, and I know I'm a better person for having known you.
TGS, baby!
So Connor, it's important for me to share that this year you are the inaugural recipient of an award that was named after our founding head of school, the Reverend Russ Ingersoll. He was so pleased to learn of you and all of your wonderful accomplishments. And though he could not be with us this evening, he has promised to be here next year to give the award in person, but he sent this lovely message that he asked me to give during commencement. When the school was founded as a church school back in 1980, our aim was to create a school where character was our foremost concern. The aim of education, we believed, was to strive to know each student well in order to discover, develop, celebrate, and then deploy the God-given talents of each. Students were not to be coddled, but given meaningful challenges through which they might become spiritually strong, discerning, and resilient beings, capable of meeting life's challenges head-on. So it pleases me greatly to learn of this new award and of its first recipient, Connor Heroes, a young man whose strength of character is a shining example to others. Indeed, I believe this award might be better named for him, for his example would most assuredly inspire future generations of students to greet adversity with similar determination and grace. The faculty unanimously selected you as the first recipient.
Good evening. I'm Amy Clashman. I teach French. Right now I'm reading on behalf of Virginia and Ciela, who teaches art, to introduce Kat. I am truly honored to introduce one of the most humble, creative, courageous, and compassionate humans that I have ever met. Fully present, the path walked by Catherine Renee Bird is sacred ground. Every person, camouflaged inchworm, or tiny sparrow splashing the purple patio is noticed, acknowledged, and appreciated. Whether in a lab, theater, or studio, Catherine works with detailed skill. Kat, I know you like the cold, but honestly, the coolest part of Nebraska is about to be you.
Yeah.
You are greatly loved, and you will be greatly missed.
Yeah!
Joy, curiosity, kindness. This is what Dennett Fonchet Montfort Brown has brought to TGS in his 7 years here. The cheery sound of the recorder, La Flûte à Bec, announces his presence. Dennett is a doer and a creator. He never says an unkind word and is fully present and absorbed in the moment. He often stays after class to talk excitedly about some idea he's had, which makes him late for his next class. But that's okay. Dennett is the co-recipient of the English Award and the Visual Art Award. Whether he's building boats, constructing forts, or perfecting his French in Canada, Dennett's zeal for learning and joie de vivre are remarkable. Next year, we will pine for the sound of a recorder, but Dennett has infused TGS with his joy.
Yeah!
The smile, the quiet smile appears when Valentina Manrique has, again, come up with the right answer or shared an interesting insight in class. She is a little surprised at herself. She shouldn't be. She is an astute and deeply thoughtful person and a very good writer. I remember the charming and heartfelt love story she wrote in French 3. Valentina chose a senior internship that would push her into something a little uncomfortable, working with small children at Congregation Anshe Israel. I admire that. While she keeps a low profile, she has a profound influence on the people around her. She is gifted with the ability to listen fully and with empathy. Her compassion for others is remarkable and has been noticed. It has made this a better place.
Yeah!
Good evening. I am Dennis Connor, a member of the Science Department. Christopher Allen McCormick is the recipient of the Charles T. Kent Science Award. You may recognize him from one of this year's school plays. He's the two-time award winner of the U.S. Congressional App Design Challenge. It is in his preparation for robotics competitions that showcase his talent. He can perfect an automation routine through thousands of small, incremental challenges, crafted over months of planning and many surprise changes from his teammates. For hours, days, weekends, months at a time, it's run the program, change the program, pick up a 50-pound robot, reset, repeat. He's been a great leader, a willing teacher of younger students, and someone who has left a strong legacy. He's also earned the designation of Superior on his senior internship project. Good luck.
Yeah!
I have loved the opportunity that I've been given to watch Byron Penrukovich navigate his way through school. At robotics competitions, people stare. Because he has been center stage at competitions for 4 years. People wonder, when is he going to graduate? People wonder, how did he build that? People wonder, how many awards has he amassed? I tell people one of the most impressive things is that he has been extraordinarily successful while balancing a second school life. He plays the cello. He's acted, he plays tennis, and last year he traveled with the physics team to compete at the International Physics Competition in Israel. He has won lots of awards and praise, but I know many more are in his future. Good luck.
Yeah!
Good evening, I'm Angela Earnhardt, co-athletic director.
Yeah!
Thanks, Connor.
No problem, I got you.
Puti, aputi, lao faiso. Gabby. I'm not gonna do it. Puti aputi lawezo fesoni. Little by little, the bird makes its nest. When Gabrielle Lambert arrived in Arizona her freshman year, she didn't want to stay. She longed to be back in Canada with friends and family she had grown up with. This is normal for a kid leaving a country to start a new life as a freshman. But Gabby is brave, crazy brave. Brave enough to pack up her life at 14 and move to a new country. Brave enough to shoot and make 9 3-pointers against Fort Thomas during her senior night game. Brave enough to be the only girl on an all-boys soccer team. Brave enough to leave her Montreal nest and build one here. Friend by friend, sport by sport, class by class, smile by smile, little by little. Gabby built her nest in her new home. Thank you for everything, Gabby, but I must admit, my excitement is palpable to watch you leave the nest and monte sio, soar so high.
Yeah!
As I sat and watched Acacia Matei Flance Reader present for her senior internship, 2 things dawned on me. The first was what a profound impact you've had on our women's sports teams at TGS for the last 7 years. From your middle school days at volleyball camp, to being one of the top high school competitors in Arizona, to being injured on the sidelines and still never missing a day of practice. You, Acacia, are someone I wish all of our underclassmen would echo. The second was what a gift that you were able to bring to the 8th, 3rd, and 4th graders that you coached. Passion, excellence, and a love for everything you chose to do poured out of you as you spoke about your experience. It's true what they say, sports do not build character, they reveal it. Acacia, you have revealed yourself, even at this young age, to be a remarkable person, willing to not just put all yourself into everything you do, but give back to others with that same passion. I can't wait to see the great things you accomplish in the years to come. Congratulations.
Yeah! Yeah!
I'm Chris Freslone, and I teach music. On the first day of class in the fall of 2015, a freshman named Sarah Wong sat in choir class, and when speaking about her previous music experience, she said, with both a radiant smile and very focused seriousness, "I just really love to sing." Before the end of that year, partly because there was another Sarah in choir, and partly because all of us Americans believed that we could say and remember her Chinese name, and the pun that went with it, we all correctly called her Yusi Wong. Since then, Yusi has been on a special musical journey, culminating in being a co-recipient of the Music Award, and I've been both thrilled and honored to be her mentor. You see, Yusi took on everything that I threw at her, and even when she struggled with it, she always proceeded with a smile and determination. The most resistance I think I ever received from her one time was when she heavily sighed, "Okay, Defrez." For many people, singing music brings them joy. Yusi not only exemplifies this notion, but also adds a new dimension. When Yusi sings, the joy is radiated outward to everyone else. She makes the singers around her better, and she makes all the people around her better. And perhaps, maybe most importantly, as she has brought new meaning to the United States national anthem, which I get to teach her. Oh, say, can you see?
Yeah! Yeah, Yuki!
Kabir Andy Gudral. You have no problems signing up for a sustained challenge. Despite your already packed plate, with Student Council and Writing Center, you chose to take 3 difficult and demanding math classes this year, all taught by me. To top that off, I was your senior internship mentor. By my estimates, every week we were in the same room a mean of 12.5 hours, plus or minus 2. I signed off on your intense, and some may say insane, senior year plan because I had every ounce of trust that you could do it. You always handle challenge with poise and calm, and if things don't go well, you just take a deep breath and try again. When you were in 10th grade, I discovered that you are the definition of perseverance. It is impossible to spend that much time with anyone and not know a thing or two about them. We've talked about anything and everything: food, school, religion, culture, politics, economics, sustainability, college, food. I know you have strong convictions, yet are flexible enough to hear the other side. I know you know your strengths and weaknesses. You have developed an amazing capacity to take the good and the bad as it comes and find the silver lining. Andy, your future is bright, not because of where you're going, but because of where you've been and who you are. Keep choosing the challenging path, and thank you for a most amazing and successful year.
Yay!
And I believe I failed to introduce myself. My name is Dr. Erica Gallo, and I teach math and science. Mackenzie Elizabeth Regan is the recipient of the Visual Arts Award. She's a member of the National Art Honor Society, and she's also my advisee. Mac leaves high school a very different woman from the 9th grader I met in the Fab Lab. I watch her crushing disappointment in choosing to end her swimming career, and the elation, exuberance, and freedom that came with opening the doors of new opportunities. She masterminded her senior year's academic load to allow for a greater extracurricular participation. And participate she did. The musical, Carnegie Hall, college courses, volunteer work, regular work, kickboxing, more friend and family time. Lessons were learned and overcommitment. Tough conversations were had. Hard choices were made. Mac, during those extreme and trying times, the essence of the self shines, and you're an amazing woman. You're sincere, humble, grounded, and kind. You're diligent, unwavering, and wise. Your art is unique and beautiful because you are unique and beautiful. I am deeply grateful for the trust and the gift of a frank and profound advisee-advisor relationship. I look forward to knowing the future you. Keep chasing imperfection, because we know perfection is fiction, and choosing what is right for you. Today is enormously bittersweet, but I can't wait to see how your adventure unfolds. Thank you.
Yeah, Mac.
Daniel Shevlev is the recipient of the Mathematics Award. He has been my student every year and has spent countless hours waiting for tea water to boil in my classroom. As such, I have watched the metamorphosis of that quiet, reserved 9th grader into an animated, fearless, creative young man of many, many talents that always takes up a challenge. Best known for his mastery in mathematics, he leaves a unique legacy behind. I am still blown away at his Hamlet performance. Who knew he's such a thespian? Then there was robotics, stagecraft, tennis, and a 95.8th percentile national ranking in chess. Daniel, you have sat... I teach stats. Daniel, you have sat through headache-inducing lectures on mathematical abstraction and numerous lectures that turn into impromptu discussions about something other than math, which I do a lot. Regardless of the topic, you always bring a unique perspective to the table. I have many memories of you, arguing with Alan on Russian or with Christopher about efficiency and optimization. But perhaps my favorite is hiking to Mamak Hill with advisory just 2 weeks ago. We had a lovely and wonderful conversation on the way back down the mountain, and the topics we discussed came and went with the wind. That day, I hiked with a deeply insightful, complex, and tranquil young man. I am excited about the future. The world will do well with your unique perspective and many, many talents.
Yeah, Daniel.
My name is Amy Haskell. I'm the photography teacher here, also an alum of the Gregory School. And it's my honor to introduce Yuval Beryl. One thing I admire about Yuval is that she always knows exactly what she wants. I've seen her on numerous occasions work really hard on an idea, rework said idea, and maybe rework it again to get exactly what she's after. I love that she does not give up. She's also very humble and will probably disagree with everything I just said. Yuval approaches situations with a "I've got that" attitude and is always up for trying new things. She is very creative. I've loved watching her sisters grow up over the years through Yuval's photography, as they are frequently the subjects of her photos. It has been a joy having Yuval in my class. She is bright, fun, and full of adventure. And I want to wish her love and safety as she joins the Israeli Defense Force this fall as a soldier.
Yeah, Yuri. Yeah, Yuval.
One thing is certain, you always know when Ariana is in the room. Ariana Deitch. That has a lot to do with energy and more noticeably volume. This girl can be loud. I met Ariana as a sophomore, and right off the bat, she started going on photo shoots with me. I noticed the most curious thing. Off campus, she became very quiet, very focused, and very dedicated to the art of photography. I recognized her talent for creating beautiful images and brought her on as a senior intern. We got to spend a lot of time together off campus. And I loved watching her grow and knowing just how far I can push her and watching her always rise to the challenge. It is very fitting that Ariana is receiving the photography award this year. I know her future is going to be more focused in the medical field, but I also know her foundation in the arts will play an important role in her life. And I'm so excited to see where your attention to detail will take you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello, I'm Ashley Hazen. I'm the school counselor and advisor. Isabel Rose Ferreira. Ingrid Fattel Lee said, "Joy isn't just something we find. It's also something we can make for ourselves and for those around us." Since returning to TGS her junior year, Isabel has certainly created joy throughout her community. Isabel is a leader, creative, funny, and kind. Her leadership was visible in my advisory as she came up with unique ways for our group to bond and in leading her own explorations throughout the year. Isabel is compassionate and has a special ability to connect with others, so it was no surprise she was inspired by Ingrid's TED Talk and chose to focus her senior internship on spreading joy throughout TGS. Her creative and colorful art around campus will have a lasting impact, much like her presence has. Isabel, as you move on to the next chapter in life, I have no doubt you will continue to spread joy to those around you and will do your best to make every day a 10.
Yeah. Hey.
Alan David L. Alan's a recipient of the History Award and the Music Award.
Yeah, Alan.
I'm Steve Krause. I teach math.
Yeah, Mr. Krause.
My relationship with Alan can be best described as question and answer. Alan asks the questions. I attempt to summon the answers. 8th grade, about the second week of school. It's Krause. It's Alan, right? Yes. What's your question? What is algebra? I wasn't sure if he was serious. I looked for guidance in the class, made eye contact with another 8th grader, and she gave me the signal. He's serious. And here we go. Ms. Krause, what's your position on healthcare reform? Where do you stand on immigration? What do you think of the presidential candidates, the presidential debates, the presidential election, the wall, and what exactly is a short sale? Actually, the majority of our conversations have been about playing the guitar. Alan's an accomplished guitarist. He studies, practices, performs. Mr. Krause, you have a minute? Sure, Alan. There's something that's been bothering me I don't quite understand. I'll do my best, and I'm paraphrasing. How does one actually play the guitar with spontaneity? With all that theory in our learning history, how can we ever actually play something that is passionate and unbridled in the moment? Can you explain that mechanism? And there it is. Alan asked the tough questions. Not just the ones we ought to know the answers to or be willing to approach, hypothesize, speculate upon, but the ones we haven't even considered. I thought that was our job. But that's who he is. Alan will be attending an honors college in the fall, and he will be asking the tough questions. He will grow, and so will they. Love you, kid, and I'll miss you.
Good evening, all. My name is Jessica Langenpeck. I teach English, and tonight I'll be reading for Virginia and Seela, who could not be here. With a tranquil grace, Elizabeth L. Kiefer moves with intention and focus. Whether in the classroom, band room, art studio, writing center, or on the volleyball court, Lisa is serene and fierce. Her paintings are as light-filled and delicate as they are bold and architectural. Lisa, the title of the #1 song, The Day You Were Born, seems to have foreshadowed the you we celebrate today. Congratulations as you join the ranks of Independent Woman, Part 1. You are greatly loved, and you will be greatly missed.
Yeah, Lisa!
Also, Lisa earned a designation of Superior on her senior internship project.
Yeah!
Good evening. I'm Linda Mount, and I've been here a long time. I'm going to speak about Chloe Ray Gorman first, and she earned a designation of Superior on our senior internship project. Chloe Ray Gorman possesses a creative and engaged spirit that demands attention when she enters a space. Uniquely, she also knows how to listen with focus, intention, and kindness to others. Extremely scholarly, devoting attention to politics, community issues, and world events, she also has a mischievous streak. She has and will fearlessly tackle the controversial issues that materialize in any history class, but Chloe can be quite funny too. As I finally remember the adventures of Chloe's early morning drives to school for 0 hour. Once she arrived and regaled us with her hilarious observations and escapades, the remarkable student that Chloe is emerged. Chloe is a giant in the classroom, but even more importantly, she understands and advocates for issues with unrelenting clarity and steady rationality. The intensity and passion with which she gropes for answers about historical events and current issues sometimes unbalances her, but they never throw her off course. She involves herself in every aspect of campus and community life. Like many students today, she overbooks herself with sports, volunteer work, student government, and event planning, but she pulls it all off with great style and enthusiasm. I've found myself astonished by her energy and discipline, her joy in the classroom, and the excellence of both her participation and her essays make teaching a delight. Teaching is a reciprocal activity during which teachers can often learn just as deeply from the students as the other way around. My 2 classroom years with Chloe nurtured a trust and a friendship that I will sorely miss.
Yeah, Chloe!
Karen. Navigating this planet with elegance, confidence, and ability, and an extraordinary work ethic, Kiran Dev Ramakumar surprised, delighted, and left me in awe on more than a few occasions. A natural innovator and collaborator, he and friends have co-founded no fewer than 3 startups and created an app that can calculate the risk of heart disease and diabetes and more. A natural leader, Kiran participated in student government during all 4 years and rose to become an effective president of the student body during his senior year. In addition to influencing friends, faculty, and community, he has to be the greatest role model for his 2 adorable little brothers, Dylan and Devin. An old soul who takes things very seriously, Kiran knows only loyalty and friendship, invites and enjoys any intellectual challenge, and he cares about the planet. I can sleep at night because I know there are young people like Kiran to bend and thrash this world into shape. And I wish the following for you, Kiran. As Anna Quindlen has mused, quote, "Life is made up of moments, small pieces of glittering mica on a long stretch of gray cement. In lives as busy as ours, those moments won't come to us unsummoned. We have to teach ourselves how to make room for them, to love them, to live, to really, really live. So my young friend, show up, listen, and try to laugh. I will miss you very much."
Yeah, Karen.
Kiran also earned the designation of superior in his junior internship project. Beauty, grace, loyalty, athleticism, and true grit. That's McKenna Goodwin Roberts. The beauty and grace are clearly apparent for all to see and admire. Her deep and abiding friendships testify to the loyalty she has shown to friends, school, and family. Her athleticism is hard to summarize, as she has 3 single-spaced typewritten pages of achievements and awards, and something I can barely say, in training, competing, and winning as a hunter, jumper, and equitation equestrian. That means that her skills and dedication to the art and sport of horsewomanship are exceptional. I find it breathtaking just thinking about riding a horse at full gallop and jumping over a hedge wall or a fence. McKenna's grit, and this connection of dust, stands out as her most defining characteristic. The simple definition of grit includes courage, resolve, perseverance, and follow-through. Angela Duckworth's research explores 5 characteristics of grit. Courage, to ride your horse over a wall, to choose a rigorous class schedule year after year, to teach children in Kenya. Conscientiousness, to show up prepared and on time to get the job done, whatever it is. Endurance, to achieve a high GPA while grooming, feeding, and riding your horse. Resilience and optimism, no matter the setback, disappointment, or obstacle. And finally, sheer excellence in the way you live your life. Continue to champion all of your causes. McKenna, I will really miss you.
Yeah, McKenna. Yeah.
Buenas noches, good evening. My name is Lidia Noriega and I teach Spanish. Another spectacular feature of the Gregory School is cultural and linguistic diversity. As an example, you can find Laura Elizabeth Calonge vigorously working on a piece by a French novelist, or eagerly analyzing the duality of being in a poem by Jorge Luis Borges, or even expressing her Colombian identity while dancing to the tunes of Shakira, or vindicating James Rodriguez's most recent penalty. Laura, I know sometimes life has a funny way of working itself out, and you need to keep fighting for your goals. As Gabriel Garcia Marquez says, life is nothing but a continuous succession of opportunities to survive. And I have no doubt that you will not only survive, but you will thrive during your time in Florida. I wish you the best, Laura.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, Ari.
In the short story, the handsomest drowned man in the world, by again Gabriel Garcia Marquez, we observe a positive transformative effect that one dead man, Esteban, has on an entire village. This tale argues that a truly great person has the power to change others, to inspire them to be better, and to make them want to be extraordinary. Aritalia Kinsey Williams is our own Esteban at the Gregory School. Ari, you have made a deep impact among your classmates, friends, teachers, siblings, and teammates in track and field. And I'm convinced that you will bring this same vibe to Washington this fall. They are fortunate to have you, and please come back often.
My name is Lori Patton. I serve as the assistant head of school. Jillian Hannah Cassius. The poet William Arthur Ward writes, "The person who risks nothing, does nothing, has nothing, is nothing. He may avoid suffering and sorrow, but he cannot learn, feel, change, grow, or live." I've had the gift of knowing you since 3rd grade. What I know about you is that you don't always take the easiest path. And that's because you take risks. Whether it's joining the swim team for the very first time as a senior, joining the robotics team and being the catalyst for other female members, speaking in front of hundreds while accepting the Brenna Zingut Award for the United Synagogue Youth, when it terrifies you to speak in public. You never cease to amaze me. You put yourself out there, always. May we all learn from your example. I know that I have.
Yeah, Julian.
I'm Dave Schindel, and I am in the college counseling office. Charlotte Rose DeHoop has made an impact on our community through her commitment to athletics. She has earned varsity letters in volleyball and tennis, through her art, and through her achievement in the classroom. She is thoughtful, insightful, and engaged. She will enrich the many communities she will join in the years to come. And personally, I will miss you coming in, flopping on the couch with a big sigh. Congratulations.
Yeah, Charlotte. Yeah. Hey.
Hi, I am Revati Tanikachalum, teaching chemistry here, and I'm going to say about Jessie.
Yeah.
And this is for Virginia and Silla. It's no surprise that Jessie Leong name means girl that has talent. Jessie's creative and skilled drawings, watercolors and oil paintings definitely confirm her talent, but her life also confirms her courage. She has faced the challenge of leaving her homeland to study in an unfamiliar desert culture with a twinkling radiance and confident style. Jessie, your adventurous and innovative spirit will serve you well as you continue your studies. You are greatly loved and you will be greatly missed. Congratulations.
Yeah, Jessie.
Good evening. My name's Rod Thompson. I'm a member of the science department. Alicia Weng came to TGS from China via California as a junior. During the past 2 years, Alicia has demonstrated increased interest in developing her self-management and leadership skills. Alicia is a quick learner of concepts, has developed strong abstract thinking skills, and is always mathematically explicit. Alicia has shown great tenacity despite a conflicting scheduling to study AP Biology and AP Calculus simultaneously. Alicia is considering ways to combine her passion for the biological sciences with business studies next year. Her fashion sense is amazing. We wish you well, Alicia.
Yeah, Alicia.
Good evening. I'm Sean Wevel. I teach Spanish and social studies. The first terms that come to mind when I think of Ariana King are hardworking, engaged, lighthearted. I've had the privilege of teaching Ariana in 2 very different classes this year, and her hard work stands out in each. She throws herself into the task at hand and she perseveres until she gets the job done. She's a young woman who is quietly but intensely engaged in the world around her and fueled by her desire to improve it. Her passion for her internship, working with disenfranchised children, was impressive, and I've perhaps never seen her so engaged as when she spoke of it during our class discussions on civil rights. Her internship, by the way, earned the designation of superior, no surprise to me. And to think she does all of this with her luminous smile, one that she kept throughout the stresses of senior year. I wish you the best luck next year, Ariana.
Yeah, Ariana. Yeah. Let's go, D-Merck.
Good evening. My name is John Willey, and I'm from the mathematics department. The next 3 young men are all members of the TGS basketball team that won back-to-back state championships.
Yeah!
Their athletic accomplishments are impressive, but they are defined by more than these accomplishments. Coming from another school, Damari Anderson Harris faced significant challenges in trying to make new friends, fitting in with a new team and coach, and meeting the demands of new teachers. He accomplished all of this in his own quiet, perfectionist style. He is a bright, competitive, fun-loving young man, polite and respectful to all, except maybe those who get in his way on the court. Although he is a twin to his brother Tamari, he is his own man with his own way of doing things, and he will make his own mark on the world in whatever future path he chooses to take.
Yeah, D-Merck. Yeah, D-Merck. Let's go, T-Chops. Let's go, T-Chops.
Okay, like his brother Tamari Mellon Harris came from another school and had to find his way at TGS. He was able to do so in his own brash, yet polite and respectful manner. Coach Everson says he plays tough with a big game mentality, but can have fun and joke with his teammates too. I saw much the same in my statistics class and advisory. He strived to do his best at all times and was always supportive of his peers. With both Tamari and Damari in the same class, Tamari stood out as the louder, more assertive of the two. I was impressed how, even with the brotherly banter and chiding, it was clear there was a strong, loving bond between them. Tamari is an outstanding young man, and his ability to take his mental toughness from the court to the classroom will serve him well in the future.
Yeah, T-Chomps! Yeah, T-Chomps!
I got to know Anderson Caleb Mort, winner of the Outstanding Male Athlete Award, when he joined my advisory as a sophomore. He is very quiet, but certainly not shy. A man of few words. When he speaks, whether in class or on the court, you better listen because it's important. As a student, he always took the more challenging path, and as a member of the basketball team, he was irreplaceable. He did whatever needed to be done without complaining, and he gave it his all. Despite the serious face he puts on, Anderson has a great sense of humor that is appreciated by his peers. A well-rounded individual, Anderson has the academic, social, and athletic tools to pursue his dreams for the future.
Yeah, Amber Bucket! Yeah, Norman. Yeah, Norman.
I first met Naman Dharmesh Patel when he was in 3rd grade. At the time, he was a high-energy, younger sibling of Dhruv. Since then, I've gotten to know him as a student, mock trialer, quiz bowler, and varsity athlete. I know that Naman can move quickly, but he instead moves glacially around campus. And as such, I know that any ambulatory conversation will take time. I know that Naman will reassure me after every soccer game that it was the opposing team that started all the trouble. And I know that Naman only joined in reluctantly, more than likely to defend his friends and teammates. And I know that Naman will regularly, almost daily, announce his plans to join Mrs. Young and me for dinner at our place. And that he plans on arriving around 6-ish. All these things I know, and I also know that what we will miss of Naman, his university community will gain.
Yeah, Naman! Yeah, Naman! Yeah, Eric! Yeah.
There are so many fables, parables, and movies that reassure us that if we put in the work, clock the hours, make the effort, then in the end we'll see our work come to fruition. But then there are those like Song Yi-jung, who spend their years knowing that that final moment of glory will remain elusive. Eric has spent 4 years practicing, traveling, and supporting the basketball and volleyball teams, knowing that he would never get the chance to play on the varsity team because he's an international student. This past year, he used applied mathematics to perform spatial analysis of the geographical and meteorological environment on campus, to completely redesign our rainwater collection system. But he knew that he wouldn't be here to see the completed project. Most people will do the work because they know a reward awaits them in the end. It is to our great fortune that Eric is not most people. Good luck.
Yeah, Eric! Yeah!
Good evening, I'm Elizabeth Young and I teach English.
Yeah, Mrs. Young!
And my knees are really creaky, evidently.
Yeah!
The American poet Allison Deming proposes that we need art to educate our emotions and extend our compassions beyond narrow self-interest. And I would like to propose that we need Tanea Monique Davis to educate our emotions and extend our compassions beyond narrow self-interest. As this year's recipient of the Peter Deal Foreign Language Award, Nay not only demonstrated outstanding achievement in verbal and written language, but she also demonstrated an appreciation and sensitivity for cultural values. She is an avowed multiculturalist, and her compassion for all walks of life can be seen in her role as artist, scientist, poet, and athlete. Nay, you are the consummate Gregory School graduate, and we're so lucky to call you our own.
Yes, Neil! Yes, Neil!
Rachel Elise Gonzalez represents the end of an era, wrapping up 15 consecutive years of Gonzalez siblings attending this school. From her athletic excellence in El Mirador to her editing expertise for the literary magazine, she embodies her family's passions and talents. But she made her own mark as well. As this year's co-recipient of the Visual Art Award, Rachel will be long celebrated on this campus for her precision as an artist. She observes life in detail. She exercises the patience so often required to see life clearly and accurately, and she makes the mundane beautiful. Thank you for all you've given to us.
Yeah, Rachel!
My first impression of Anna Therese Valencia is the same as my last. If I were a teenager again, I'd do everything in my power to make her my friend. She is loyal and funny. She astutely discerns and deeply contemplates. And as this year's recipient of both the Outstanding Female Athlete Award and the Visual Art Award, she's a winner. Who wouldn't want to have a winner for a friend? She has an oil painting on display in the senior art show titled Green Light, a Hopper-esque depiction of black pavement absorbing a gas station's lights in the depth of night. I'm enthralled by the quality of light Anna created on that asphalt, just like I'm enthralled by the figurative light Anna has launched into my own life. Anna, we will not forget the quiet but powerful impact you've had on us these 7 fast years.
Yeah, Anna! Yeah!
I promise I'm the last one going. We can all go home after this. Hello, my name is Kiran Ramakumar, and this is the last time I will address you as Student Council President. Today marks the end of our high school careers, but not of our journeys in life. Tomorrow we will wake up. We may not even sleep tonight, and we'll be off to the next stop. High school will remain as in the past, and will remain as a memory stored up in our heads. In 3 months or so, we will arrive at the next stop and will face the next challenge. For the rest of our lives, we will be taking step after step, moving forward. Tonight you have heard a lot of moving memories, but I wanted to leave the TGS class of 2019 with some simple advice. Be present for the journey. We can never change the past, despite what is seen in Avengers Endgame. And we can never predict the future, so we must enjoy the present. Enjoy every little moment, because before you know it, it's all over. Andy Bernard from Dunder Mifflin put it best when he said, yes, I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you've actually left them. Let's cherish the journey and the good old days, because pretty soon we'll be faced with a situation like this, saying goodbye to another part of our lives. Don't forget our time here, but look forward to the new challenges just around the corner. Before we turn our tassels, and I learned it's right to left today, let's look to the left and then to the right. This is the last time this team, this collection of people will be together. They have all helped bring us to this moment. And now I'm proud to present the Gregory School class of 2019. claps, everybody. Here we go.
Yeah, Will, back in.